Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's Kiki, which is Andy Cohen firing back, slamming Lisa Rinna's claims that he is a liar regarding the Aspen receipts when it comes to the season 12 reunion of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But before we dive in, you guys know what to do. Go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. So with that, let's dive right on in. So as we all know, with this whole Aspen situation with Kathy Hilton versus Lisa Rinna. So the entire time it's always been there's no receipts, there's no footage, there's no audio, there's no video, there's no anything, right? And Lisa Rinna was coming under attack for, if you're claiming that Kathy Hilton had this psychotic meltdown, this psychotic break, and she's banging on things and you're scared for your life and now you have PTSD, why didn't you call 911? Why didn't you call production? Why didn't you call Kyle? You know, you're texting with Erica, but if I'm fearful of my life to the point where I'm locking myself in the room and I'm alleging that I have PTSD, I'm not texting Erica. I'm calling Kyle. Girl, come get your sister. Why didn't you wake up Mauricio? There's been all of these different questions, right? And so as we know, Lisa Rinna posted on her Instagram and on her Twitter when she was on it before she either deactivated or got kicked off, whatever you choose to believe. She posted, Aspen receipts. And allegedly, these were the receipts that she was supposed to show during the reunion. As we know, that footage never aired. Everyone's like, why didn't you show the receipts? Lisa Rinna came with all these envelopes. Where are the receipts? Why did you cut it? As we know, Andy Cohen came out and said those receipts were about Elton John. That's a dead horse. Nobody cares about it. There were no Aspen receipts. Then Lisa Rinna, because she can never keep her mouth shut, even when it comes to clapping back at her own boss, comes in and says, no, I'm just going to keep it real. We had the Aspen receipts. There were like 8 pages, blah, 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 blah. It was cut. She said in those DM, in the comment section, that they cut it. Andy said it never happened. Now he's clapping back at her claims that he was lying. He responded on his Radio Andy podcast. So let's listen to what Andy had to say, and then we'll get into it. Then we'll dissect it.
Wanted to also say, I said on Monday that people were speculating about what Rinna's receipts were. And I said on Monday that the receipts were, they were emails about the Elton John AIDS Foundation.
Yeah.
And that we talked about them and she whipped the receipts out and that we wound up cutting the whole thing because we were done talking about the Elton John AIDS Foundation. Like, enough is enough. And then there's an article on page 6 that day, on Monday. Well, I'm at the gym and I see it. And there's a picture in the page 6 article where it says Aspen receipts. And I text Rinna. I go, I said on the radio today that your receipts were about the Elton John AIDS thing. Is that what they were? Were there also Aspen receipts? And she said, actually, there were also Aspen receipts.
Oh, no.
She said, I printed out 8 pages of text messages from texts that I was sending to Kyle and Erica and another friend of hers about what was going on that night with Kathy. And she said that was kind of my corroboration that I sent those texts that night, and that's what that was. And she never entered them to the court for consideration, and we never got to them. So then I guess she posted on her Instagram yesterday and said these were actually also the receipts. I woke up this morning and people on Twitter were like, Rinna's calling you a liar. What do you think? So this is me saying I believe both of these situations to be true. She had the Elton John receipts. She had what were her Aspen receipts that I never saw. We never got to them. We didn't cut them out of the show. She never handed them over during the show. And so that is the tale of Rinna's receipts.
All right, you guys. Now I want to know, did you guys catch what I caught? We're going to put on our candy cane critical thinking hats. When Lisa Rinna when Lisa Rinna came out and said, no, 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 there were two manila envelopes, that had all of the receipts in it. In that receipt packet, I was texting with, she said, her assistant and her best friend, one of her best friends, right? Now, Andy Cohen is saying in that clip that she said to him that she was texting Erica and Kyle. This is the first time we're hearing that Lisa Rinna allegedly contacted Kyle directly on that night. So something is not adding up. Something doesn't make any type of sense. This is what I think actually happened. I think that Lisa Rinna doesn't have any receipts that are actual receipts. If she had true receipts, and by receipts I mean something that concretely proves and corroborates her version of events of what happened with her and Kathy in Aspen, she would have dropped them by now. It would have been in Reality Blurb, it would have been in Page 6, it would have been on TMZ, it would have been in Radar R Line, it would have been on her Instagram stories, it would have been on her Twitter account. The fact that they have not been dropped means they do not exist. Oh, thank you so much, Natalia, for the super chat. Let me say hi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that for the super chat. She goes, Natalia, she goes, hi, Candy. He's lying. Crystal did an interview and said she saw it was two envelopes. She said Andy saw it, but just ran through it and they did cut it. Ooh, okay. I'm going to go and watch Crystal's interview on it. Thank you so much for that, Natalia. Thank you. So this is the thing. I think that she doesn't have receipts that again are actual receipts. So if she has these printouts of text messages, they're probably very similar to the same exact text messages we've already seen between her and Erica. Oh, Kathy's blah, blah, blah. She's going off about Kyle. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Erica's like, wow, this, that, and the third. I think that if they were receipts that changed the game in any way, they would not have cut it. They would have showed it. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think that I actually agree with Andy on this one. I think both things can be true. I think, sure, maybe she did have the two envelopes. Maybe she did have these printouts. But on the flip side of that, whatever receipts she had were not actual receipts. Me just showing a text exchange, chit-chatting with people is not actually evidence unless there is something concretely within those text messages that changes the game. And also, don't forget, Andy is checked out. You know what I mean? Andy is not tuned in and tapped on. He is checked out. So maybe he looked at it and he was just like, okay, another text exchange. This means nothing. Whatever. Move on. Elton John, I agree with them. Cut Elton John. We don't care about that. Been there, done that. That's a dead horse we beat, just like Sutton said, beat to glue. That dead horse has been beaten to glue, right? So I do think I agree with Andy with this one. I think both things are true. Whether they cut it, whether she never showed it, her receipts were non-receipts. And this is another thing. Just because you show something and say something doesn't mean it's worthy of being shown on the reunion or the show. There is a thing, that's why they edit, right? That's why there's a thing called producing. Producers make the call of what is worth being shown and what's not worth being shown. Now, the problem with that is when they delete scenes or they cut scenes that actually would change the game. For example, when they deleted the scene and they cut the scene where Lisa Rinna was admitting that she lied about Harry. and Garcelle, admitting that she lied just to hurt Garcelle and to have a storyline about that stupid stuff. That to me is a scene that should not be cut or deleted because it actually changes the game. It's actually meaningful. It actually creates a different dynamic. It adds to the narrative, it adds to the story, right? And then all of a sudden it's a leaked scene. And then we're all in an uproar because it changes the game. Same thing that happened with the finale with the unseen footage, right? When that got leaked and it was like Erica saying, no, Kyle was happy that this was getting out about Kathy. Kyle wanted it to be out about Kathy. You know, she co-signed it. That is a scene that they need to keep. So what I am saying is that I agree with Andy that both things can be true. She could have had these printouts. Sure, maybe they cut it, but it didn't matter because what she had wasn't meaningful. It didn't actually move the needle. So, do I think Andy's necessarily lying? I think he's just checked out and he's just like, whatever, it was a big nothing burger. What you had didn't prove anything. Who cares? And then I think Lisa Rinna is just spiraling and windmilling and is trying to stay relevant and is trying to get her diamond back literally by any means necessary, even if it means saying your boss is a liar. But I want to know what you guys think, okay? I'm going to do the quick outro, but my candy canes, stick around because I will be showcasing some of your comments. But I'm going to do a quick outro for those who are catching this on the replay, okay? So I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. Do you think that Andy Cohen is straight out lying? Or do you think that he's just like, your receipts were nothing, we cut it, who cares? Move on, get over it. It's really not that big of a deal. Do you think this vindicates Lisa Rinna? The fact that there were two envelopes, the fact that Crystal is saying they did show it, but it got cut? Or do you think, no, Lisa Rinna, just because you came with some Kinko printouts doesn't mean you had receipts. It just means you have Kinko printouts, right? So let me know what you guys think. Put it down below. But before you do that, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with the community. Check out our description box down below and shop our love collection. And if you want, you can do a little super thanks down there if you want to. So with that, you guys, thank you. All right, now let's get into